Is paying points to buy down a rate really a good idea? And how many is too many? You see a lot of rates advertised out there with points attached, and obviously there's a reason for that because we are highly oriented psychologically towards the rate being offered and essentially equate that with price when in fact you really need to look at all the costs, including points, to find out what's really the best deal. Now, people often ask me, what's your rate? As if there's just one rate being quoted, but there are technically many rates available going up and down in 1/8% increments with corresponding point quotes attached to them, or even negative points, which we can use as lender credits when you go up high enough in rate, like for no cost refi offers, for example. Now, traditionally in our industry, you can expect to pay 1 point for a 1/4% drop in rate or 0.5 point for an 1/8% drop. Although, of course, you will see fluctuations in this and relatively better or worse deals on any given day and in between any two rates. But using this as an average, that comes to a 4-year break-even period. Although if you look at the time value of money and opportunity cost, the break-even stretches out even farther. So really, a lot of it depends on how long you're going to be there and how payment sensitive you are versus your cash situation. But as you can see, 4 years simply to get your money back is just not that great. Then often when you look at the actual monthly savings involved, the difference in payment is relatively small and won't make a big difference in most people's budget. Lastly, even if you did lower your payment by say $40 to $50 per month, would you really be able to set aside and reinvest that extra money over the years and be able to track it over the long term versus just leaving your money where it is and investing it elsewhere instead of into points? If you left it in a mutual fund or your kid's college account, for example, you'd know exactly where it is years later. Whereas it's hard to figure out what you did with an extra $40 or $50 a month 5 years down the road. The fact is that most people, after they analyze their options, end up going with the no points quote, or maybe paying a relatively small fractional point charge, like under 0.5 point, to drop the rate an additional 0.8% if that's available, which can be a good buy sometimes to get that next notch down for a small cost. I always look for a sweet spot or any anomalies in the pricing and advise my clients accordingly. But ultimately, most stay well clear of paying the 1 to 2 points you often see advertised. Now, while it's certainly not illegal, of course, for lenders to advertise those lower rates with higher point charges, as long as they quote an APR, which is another subject and a very problematic area, by the way, but it's essentially amounting to a bait and switch tactic because they're getting people to respond positively and call in based on the lower teaser rate initially, and then often end up selling them a higher rate with lower points anyway. Most of my clients end up with the no points or something very close to that, unless maybe it's an investment property purchase or if they had lower credit scores where it was almost impossible to avoid paying at least a point or two due to the pricing add-ons involved with those particular scenarios. So I hope this has been helpful, and please feel free to reach out anytime I can be of service. Thanks for watching.